most underrated rappers is Ghostface Killah from the legendary Wu-Tang Clan. He wasn't just a lyrical genius, but also a guy you really didn't want to mess with.
War of the masses, the outcome.
Ghost is a bully, man.
Kumo Kenyatta, back with you with another story. This one is about Gza and Ghostface Killah from the Wu-Tang Clan. Two of my favorite MCs in the history of hip-hop. Back to lyrical skills, because that's what matters the most, is those lyrics. And to me, in my personal, humble opinion, the Gza is the greatest MC of all time. And we all have our number ones or our favorites, and that's what I want to make clear too. I'm saying that he's my favorite. He's my favorite MC of all time. Ghostface is in my top 10 MCs of all time. But I'm gonna give you a story on both of them. The Gza and Ghostface, two separate occasions. Two of my favorite MCs dissed me. Not only that, my favorite MC dissed me. That's the craziest thing to me. And he personally wanted war with me, which is crazier. This is what happened. I'll start with the Gza. When I first heard Gza, I didn't hear Words from the Genius. I heard Liquid Swords. That was the first album I heard by him. I felt like it could get no better than this. The beats, by the way, Riz is my favorite producer of all time. I mean, that run that he had, oh my God. I mean, the production itself, RZA, I have no clue how you did what you did in such a short period of time. I have no clue. Incredible artistic creativity. But yeah, back to Gza. So I used to go to Gza shows, a couple concerts here and there. I've been to a few of them. The Gza would come to my town, Toronto. I even been to his lectures. I went to a few Gza lectures in Toronto. Me being a big Gza fan, of course I was there. But on January 25th, 2010, I was at the Sound Academy in Toronto, and Gza was performing there. So I went there with my man George Jetson. When we got there, standing by the entrance, right by the front entrance, there was a guy that knew me. He recognized me. I was handing out promo CDs, One Oak promo CDs. And one of the guys took the CD and he was like, "You know who I am?" And I was like, "No, I don't know who you are." And he was like, "Come with me." He brought me backstage. Then he brought me down into like the basement in Sound Academy, where I found like, I guess just the celebrities and special invited guests. Holy shit, I saw Jose Choke Reynoso. I could not believe it, man. I had a conversation with Jose Choke Reynoso, is the man who engineered like the first 5 projects that Wu-Tang put out. So that would be, first album is Enter the Wu-Tang, To Cow by Method Man, Old Dirty Bastards, Return to the 36 Chambers, crazy album. Raekwon's Purple Tape, Cuban Links, and then Ghostface's Iron Man. If you read the credits on the insert of the album, you would see the name co-engineered or engineered by Jose Choke Reynoso. I always wanted to meet him, just know who he was. And I met him, and we had a nice conversation, man. He had a big backpack on. I gave him my CD, my album, my group's album. It was called The Immaculate Part 2 by One Oak. So I gave him that album, and I asked him, like, "Are you really gonna listen to this?" And he said, "Brother, I listen to everything I get." So after Jose Choke Reynoso, I sat down on this chair while we were in the basement downstairs. And there was a lady who sat down beside me, and her name is Athena. This is funny. And I said, "Do you want a promo CD?" I passed her a promo CD, and she's like, "Thank you." And I was like, "Do you listen to hip hop?" And she said, "Brother, I am hip hop." I said, "All right." And then she said, "You see that little guy walking by?" She goes, "That's my son." And she said, "Hey, by the way, that's the son of Old Dirty Bastard." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "That's my son, and he's also the son of ODB." Now we go back up out of the basement, and we go up to the back of the stage, and I'm standing on the stage, and Gza is about to come out. Oh, first, before he came out, we went into another room. I walked into the separate room, and in that room was the Gza. He was sitting by, like, in a section by himself, and everyone was surrounding him. And I walked in there, he gave me a look, and I just gave him a look like peace. All of us were talking in that room. It was a conversation atmosphere. It was all just lovely. He jumps out of the room where Gza had to go perform, so we went upstairs and went to the back of the stage. I'm holding a water bottle in my hand. I'm standing on the stage. Gza's in front of me, and he's standing in front of the whole venue, Sound Academy venue. Gza walks out to this incredible intro track. And by the way, Killer Hills 10304, my favorite Gza song of all time. Liquid Swords, number 2. Close number 2. But Gza walks out to this incredible thumping, banging
Pump that shit.
I'm like, oh my
Testing.
God, I never even
Check.
heard this one.
1, 2.
He's looking
Yes.
down at the stage,
Yes.
and as I'm holding my water bottle, I didn't have the lid on my water bottle. I must have like threw it in the garbage, just not even thinking. I was so blown away by meeting one of the mothers of ODB's children. That would be a son, by the way. And then Jose Choke Reynoso. And then I get a conversation with Gza. And in that conversation too, I forgot to mention, I did pass him my CD that he said he was going to listen to. And he stared it up and down. Just, that's my favorite MC. He's holding my music in his hands, looking at the album cover. I'm like, wow. But as I was saying, Gza walks out on stage to this thumping track. I got the water bottle in my hand, no lid. For some reason, something told me just look down at the stage as well, where Gza was looking. And what Gza was looking at was the lid to a water bottle. And it was sitting right on the stage, in a place where if he stepped on it, he could have slipped, or who knows what would have happened. So he's looking at the water bottle lid. I'm looking at the fact that I don't have the lid, and I'm looking directly at the... As soon as I looked up at Gza, he's looking me dead in my eyes, figuring, and this is what I think he was thinking, he's figuring I threw the lid on the stage for him to slip and fall on it. Gza just walked up to the lid, and where I was standing on the stage, he just aimed directly for, kicked the lid directly at me, and just gave me a look of, I want war, like this, I'm disgusted by you type of thing. I'm like, the show ended. I left with a sour taste in my mouth, but I still watched the entire performance, just rocking. And, you know, still in all, it was a memorable night. I just can't believe that that moment happened between the Gza and I. Craziness. Ghostface. We were opening up for Ghostface Killah. We were opening up for Ghostface Killah. Ghost and Cap were performing together. We finished our performance. Ghostface gets on stage. Dope again, just like Gza. It was incredible. The entrance, the introduction, the whole flow of the show, just incredible. But because I was just on stage performing, I stayed on the stage. And I was watching Ghostface and Capadonna up close. And also bobbing to the music, going nuts over the music. You know, these are my favorites, man. Wu-Tang is my favorite group of all time. So I'm just in awe, man. And just, for me, this is my musical heaven, my paradise. Because I was moving too much on stage, I guess it was too much excitement inside of me. Ghostface just gave me a look. He just paused while he was performing. He just paused, turned directly, like he turned his entire body towards me, gave me the look, and then just put his thumb to his throat and said, he was upset that I was, I guess, trying to get a little bit of the spotlight by moving too much on stage, like dancing too much on stage, but I couldn't help it. And he was right. Like, I shouldn't have been on that stage. That was his domain in that moment. That was his. And I understand that. But once again, I could not believe he gave me the cutthroat. Yeah. So those are my two Wu-Tang stories about how the Gza and Ghostface Killah wanted beef with me. But you know what though? Life is incredible, and the universe has powers beyond our knowledge, because after all of that, for me, those controversial encounters with Ghostface and with Gza, Ghostface has a crew called Theodore Unit. Q and I, the Keymkrz, we produced an album for Solomon Childs, and it features Shaheem the Rugged Child. Matter of fact, check out a song called Hard Times. And that song has Lord Fury as a feature. It has Shaheem the Rugged Child as a feature. And it stars Solomon Childs. But yeah, man, we ended up producing a whole album for Solomon Childs. And it's on YouTube again. We're proud of the work that we put in. Circumstances create misunderstandings sometimes. And for you, Ghostface, I didn't really mean to video bomb your set. And Gza, I didn't put no cap on the stage. Hope you all enjoyed this episode. This is episode number 6. Look forward to episode number 7. It's going to be another good one. And I want to say I thank you all for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share button. And then leave a comment down below. Maybe you have an experience with one of your favorite artists of all time, and you got to share a moment with them, and it kind of ended bittersweet, like my experience. Hope you enjoyed this episode number 6 of Life Imitates Art. Hope to see you on the next episode. Please, again, like, share, subscribe. Until then, gone.
Alright, up next we got One Up! Make some motherfucking noise!